The girl never expected that she was just delivering a painting when the man suddenly dragged her into a room as some kind of cure. It turned out the man had been drugged by someone, so he ordered his assistant to bring him a woman, but they mistakenly brought in the girl delivering the painting. Afterward, he left her some money and walked away, leaving the girl alone to deal with the humiliation. She thought that would be the end of it, but the man couldn't forget her beauty. He ordered his men to search for her everywhere. Days passed, but no one could find her. Helpless, the assistant looked for someone else instead. Right then, the man's mother fell seriously ill. So he had to stop the search and accompanied his mother to the hospital. There, he accidentally bumped into a pregnant woman. Little did he know, this was the girl he had been desperately searching for. But now, she was already 9 months pregnant. The doctor recommended she get admitted as soon as possible, but the total cost of staying and giving birth was $50,000. For a girl who had just graduated, she couldn't possibly afford that. Even though she didn't know who the father was, this baby was her only family. So she decided to sell her old house to cover the hospital bills. Because of the emergency, the man didn't get a good look at her face, and just like that, they missed each other again. Meanwhile, his mother was in her hospital bed, painfully saying her last words. Before she could finish, the assistant walked in holding the man's personal bracelet. The man instantly recognized it as the keepsake he had left for the girl. He urgently asked where it came from. When he heard it was found outside the maternity ward, his mother's illness suddenly seemed to improve, but the man mistakenly believed that the girl had sold herself for money and was now hiding from him on purpose, trying to use the baby to get a share of his fortune. He ordered the assistant to draft an agreement to keep the child, but when they rushed to the maternity ward, the girl was already gone. The man took the bracelet to the doctor. One glance, and the doctor confirmed it belonged to the girl. He told the man she was an orphan and had been working herself to the bone for the baby, but the money she saved was taken away by her aunt. Still, the man refused to believe it. He insisted the girl had sold herself for money, and her tragic life was just karma. The doctor immediately snapped back at him. Then the assistant heard the girl's name and was completely shocked. He quickly checked the records and realized the girl wasn't the same one they had brought in that night. That's when the man finally understood why the girl had kept saying he had the wrong person. Now he was desperate to find her, but he didn't know she was already in serious danger. The girl had just gotten home only to find the locks had been changed. Her aunt and uncle had already rented the house out. They used the excuse of taking care of her to completely take over the property. When the girl went inside to pay her respects to her parents, she found their memorial tablets were missing. She searched the place and finally found them tossed in the trash. Furious, she demanded an explanation, but her aunt didn't care at all. Her uncle told her to just stay quiet for the sake of her unborn child, but then she saw the tablets had been broken. She knew right away this was her aunt's doing. Unable to hold it in anymore, she finally exploded and let out all her years of pain. When her aunt heard she planned to sell the house to pay for delivery, she forced her to sign over the deed. The girl burst into tears and